We get a 1, personal space, 2, personal space, 3.
Hey, hello listeners. This is just a quick disclaimer for this week's episode. As anyone that's listened to the show before knows, there can be some adult language, and anyone that's listening for the first time, please keep that in mind. We tend to be ourselves and not filter, so occasionally a bad word might come out. If you have any children in the room, please put on some headphones or have them put on some headphones. Thank you.
That I don't even care about this. I'm not even interested in having this skin on my personal space.
You're listening to the IDP Guys with Sean, John, and Nathan, the Wizards of Fantasy Football. Your go-to source for the individual defensive player strategy. And now, 3 guys who could only make an NFL team on Madden.
All right, welcome back to the IDP Guys. This is episode 131. My name is Nathan, and I'm here with my co-host Johnny.
Greetings. Gobble, 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 gobble.
Gobble, gobble, gobble. And we have FF Bannerman back.
What up, everybody? Gobble, gobble.
That's good. Give us your
Gobble,
yeah,
gobble.
give us
Gobble,
your best gobble.
Yeah, there you go.
Gobble, gobble.
All right. If no one's realized, it's our Thanksgiving special. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. We'll be getting this out in time for some prime turkey day eating and I guess listening to our show while maybe watching some terrible football. But more on that later. So with that, let's open up with our question of the day. This one goes along with our theme of Thanksgiving, but I threw a curveball because this is what I did with my family for our Friendsgiving over the weekend. You know, every year you have the same question. What are you thankful for? Well, with 2020, it was a little bit of a weird year. So what is one positive outcome in your life from 2020? Who wants to start?
I mean, I can go with this one. It's really easy. It's my family, particularly my wife and my son Jackson. So 2020 has been just difficult in general, but during the pandemic, the nice thing is I spent a lot of time together with them, like a lot. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that could be rough at times because you're with them a lot, but it's something that I truly cherish. My son's only 2, so to have that extra time with him that I normally wouldn't have is pretty freaking special. And I feel like that's something where like you can already see like we have a special bond with our kid because of all the extra time we get to spend with him. So yeah, I mean, that's the one takeaway I gave for 2020 is that family time.
Nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, that's good stuff. You know, we don't get that a lot. We don't get a pause to be with family and watch them grow up and stuff. So that's awesome. That's good stuff.
Absolutely.
Dude, I mean, yeah, this year has been crazy. It's been shitty for a lot of reasons, but I've made the best of it. You know, like I don't know, like so anyone watching this on YouTube, you'll see my fat ass in the opening credits. And you'll see I'm down like 20 pounds since March.
Nice.
Yeah. So I've been exercising a lot. I stopped smoking, switched to vaping. So, you know, things are good, feeling good. Been a decent season, so I can't complain. How about you, Nate?
Yeah, that's all really good. I've been trying to hit the gym and everything, but obviously haven't had the same outcome yet. But I mean, the biggest thing is like 2020 is going to be the year I remember for the rest of my life because I got married.
Yep.
In 2020. So
congratulations, buddy.
Thank you. And you know, as you know, shitty as it has been, you know, it's definitely taken the toll on us and you know, my family. But you know, like you said, spending that time, like we got my girlfriend or my fiance and wife now, like we had all summer to plan for our wedding and get that going without the craziness of like, planning around work and all that stuff. So that was kind of, that was nice. We were able to do a lot of things for the wedding. And then, this year spending time with my sister as well. So there are nuance and blessings in between all of the crap that is 2020 pandemic. So,
Right.
Talking about all that, how did your week go? How crappy was it, or how great was it?
Yeah, we'll keep a traditional order here. Todd, fire away.
So, if we're talking from a fantasy standpoint, I'm very excited that I am a playoff team in the IDP Invitational, and
There you go.
I am still better than Joey, which should not be surprising. I'm also still undefeated in my quest for a three-peat in my home week with FF Spaceman and FF Walrus from our podcast, The Tale of Two Rivals. And my bragging rights I'm not humble at all about it. It's great. And then the Spaceman and I made a trade. He traded me Delvin Cook, and I traded away Swift and OBJ, and I could not be any happier to get rid of OBJ than anything. And I'm a playoff contender in 9 out of 12 teams by this point. By this point, you either know you're in or you're out, or you're fighting for your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's pretty clear that in 9 out of the 12 leagues, I'm probably going to make playoffs, which is 75%. That's not bad. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah. Yep. Nope. That's good. I got Cat up here getting in the way. No, it was a good week. I recovered good from the Yahoo massacre the week before. 6-2 this week in there, so that helped the diamond rating. $25 DFS, 3-1 my fantasy league, 5-9 sleeper, not eliminated. So mixed bag, but things are looking good all around. How about you, Nate?
Yeah, it's been not a good week. I'm secured in the IDP Invitational to go to playoffs, which was good. So I'm the commish of that league, obviously, and we're figuring out playoffs. And originally, I was going to have it be 8 wins to get in, which is standard with Scott Fishbowl as Banterman. Are you in SFB?
No, I'm in the satellite one, and I'm an embarrassment.
Oh yeah, no, actually in SFB, I might be 1 game below making playoffs. Like I think I'm going to end with a 7-win record. And so initially I was going to do that same thing with the Invitational. Then I realized the 96 team IDP Invitational is nothing near the, 1,200 team Scott Fishbowl. Yep. So while, that needs to be a higher level of wins to get in, I had to reduce it down to 6 just so we didn't have like 8 people in the playoffs
right
in that 96 team league. So so I sent out that email this week and told everyone, if you got 6 wins, you're in, and that's going to be the playoffs, and it's all score based. So each week I'll be updating that, which I'm sure is going to be a lot of fun. Scott Fishbowl is all automated. I'm doing it by hand.
You know what, Nate? I had one more thing from this week. It was another week of commish. The World War III league, I took down the Bucks, so we secured our division. So
nice.
Yeah, we're the second best team in a 30-team league. That league is so different. I've never played against 29 other people in a league. So like the strategy behind it's so different, dude. But the Saints are rocking it, man. We're the second best team on points in the league, so we're not upset about it.
Nice, that's awesome. Yeah, you're the version 2, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, so I'm in that one. I've sold off my assets. There's a few leagues where I've been selling. And then the version 1 league, I'm the Lions, and I am in first place in the NFC North.
Nice.
And I think I might get the 2nd seed in the playoffs. So of course, like only in fantasy will the Lions do well. But yeah, no, I've got a couple leagues where I'm looking pretty good, and those are progressing forward. And then the other leagues where I know I'm out, I'm pretty much selling. And there's like maybe one or two where I'm like knocking on the door.
Yeah. Yep.
What's up, guys? It's Josh,
Adam,
and Bobby
here with the Big 3 IDP podcast. And if you've never listened to our show before, here's just a taste of the insanity that you will get week in and week out with the Big 3 IDP podcast.
skunks are so cute.
We just ate White Castle at like 10:45 at night.
I tell you, one I liked about it a little bit more was Jeffrey Simmons.
Ooh, did you say a Bartman, like Steve Bartman? I don't like Bartman in Chicago this year. He's going to catch too many foul balls.
You know it's all about getting real and getting down to business and getting down to the facts.
Slide 'em in, slide 'em out.
It's right.
So, if you would like more of the shenanigans that you just heard in these little snippets, be sure to subscribe to the Big 3 IDP podcast wherever you get your podcast adding. Listeners are guaranteed to have a good time.
Hey, you can't afford not to do this, baby.
That's right, baby.
This week's news.
Oh, right.
Did the cat drop panels?
Yeah. No, that's Nate's cat. Mine is right here.
Oh, there we go. Okay. I was going to say, how did that happen?
Let's
That's
scroll.
amazing.
She wanted to push my computer down.
Yeah, this is like a forbidden room, so the cat loves this. Anything forbidden, they're all about. It's crazy. Alrighty. So yeah, we got some news. Let me see. Is any of it good?
No, not really.
Nope, not a one. Okay. So we'll start with the biggest one. Steelers Ravens postponed till Sunday, which is interesting. They made the Niners play with like a B squad, but not going to make the Ravens do it. So this is, I think, the biggest kind of fallout from this is, FanDuel and DraftKings has thousands and thousands of contests that are filled and set, and have that Steelers Ravens game as the third game, and it won't get resolved till friggin' Sunday now.
It's crazy.
Yeah, thoughts.
Crazy.
What do you guys think on that?
I would just say that what you were saying about what they made San Francisco do, it just goes with the theme of 2020 of inconsistency. You know what I mean? Just consistently inconsistent. Like nobody really knows what they're doing and just kind of making it up. And it's like, you saw it. Like, to me, when I saw it, I was like, okay, just another piece of COVID. So, you're just kind of getting numb to it a little bit with that stuff,
Do we think this hurts the Gus Edwards thing? There's no way those other guys get back in time, right?
No, I don't.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I think it goes along the lines of what Steve, our friend, shared in our Voxer chat of, like, you looked at the slate for Thanksgiving and you're like, okay, this looks doable. There's at least a good game that night. And then they took it away from us, and it's like, okay, I guess I'm going to watch football.
Yeah, right.
We get the Lions. I guess Houston's decent, and then you got the third string Cowboys versus Washington.
Yeah,
it's just there was something to look forward to, and it's like they took away Christmas.
Yep, not ideal. Alrighty, sweet. Nope, go ahead.
I wouldn't say I'm just a super nerd, and I can't wait to watch Washington's defense. I just love watching them play. That's like the one thing about them. Like, I hate their offense, and I'll get into that later when we start talking about some comps. But at the same time, it's yeah. I mean, I'm just excited to watch the Cowboys play bad. That's fun. It's always fun to watch the Cowboys play bad. And
they're not playing
Will
bad
Fuller's
enough.
gonna
That's the
go
problem.
off.
I need them to play worse. Like, what was that shit last week? Like,
like, stop winning.
yeah, there's no
like,
point.
Like, what is this winning crap? I
Yeah.
love it.
So stupid. Alrighty. Anyway, Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching Cameron Curl actually on the Redskins.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know if he's any good or not, but the box score seems to think so. We'll find out. Okay, Joe Burrow, season over. Yep, that's not great. It doesn't hurt me too bad. How about you guys?
I don't have any shares. I just really like Joe Burrow. We're for our podcast. We're doing a rookie redraft episode the end of this week, and I was doing my rankings. I had Burrow top 5. I don't even have him in the second round now. Like I just don't like. To me, like the injury, and once the details came out about that, I don't even know what to think. You know what I mean? Like maybe like 20th might be a place where I'd be willing to take that stab now. But yeah, man, that was horrific. It was bad. It popped out and popped back in slow motion. That's never good, you know. Though the funny thing is, today waivers ran, and in one league that's super deep, I spent the rest of my money on Finley for him not to be announced the starter, which I never saw coming.
Yeah, who is the starter?
Brandon Allen.
What?
Yeah. So, I'm in a league with a guy who's like a diehard Bengals fan. I was like, explain this to me. He goes, Finley sucks. And I go, so does Brandon Allen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Brandon Allen's good since when? You know? But he's like, Zach Taylor's trying to save his job. And I go, no, it's over. Like, his job is over. He goes, well, he's going to have a third year. To suck more? Like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. But I'm like, yeah, it was weird. Man. And like, Brandon Allen just got called up from the practice squad, which I was like, so you weren't good enough to be on the roster? Then you get called up to the practice squad and you take over the guy who's been active the whole time? It makes no sense. Zach Taylor's a shit coach. That's all I'm going to say about that. Terrible. But yeah. So that's my views on the Bengals and Burrow.
I love it. Yeah, it hurt me in one league. But that league I'm pretty much tanking in anyways, so I guess it helped me.
Yes, it did.
Yeah. It's not ideal for a bunch of stuff. Corners, for Higgins, for the receivers over there. I don't know. Not great. But whatever. It's been like that all year, so we'll just take it and roll on. This one hits a little more close to home for you. Rex Burkhead. I have him as Buckhead, but Rex Burkhead. Season over. Thoughts? So I mean, obviously James White goes up a little bit.
Yep.
Well, what other fallout do you see from this?
I don't really see much from it. From a fantasy perspective, I think all it does is actually helps figure out that situation more. I think Damian Harris has separated himself. I think Damian Harris is a legit guy to invest in Dynasty. He's proven that he is by far the best back on that team. And people are like, every time I got into an argument over Harris or I forget the other player who just started. It's like, you never trust New England's backfield. That sounds like to me like a buy window. You know what I mean? So now with Burkhead out, he's the kind of guy that I feel like in fantasy, he has those weeks where he comes out of nowhere, but he was more of like a reliable guy as a real player. But we have the depth to be able to cover that up from a real standpoint. I freaking love Burkhead. He plays the football, just balls out, blocks phenomenally, can catch the ball, runs through the tackles. But from a fantasy standpoint, Harris run away with that job. White becomes a little more secure. Sony Michel sucks. So who cares? You know what I mean? So it really just makes that situation better. And if you had Rex Burkhead and you're relying on Rex Burkhead, you're doing something wrong anyways. So yeah, I don't think from a fantasy standpoint, it does much except firm things up for Harris and White.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. Nate, any fallout for you?
Yeah, I mean, I've got James White. I think the only places I had Rex Burkhead was places where I'm tanking anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yep. Alrighty. Jadeveon Clowney to IR. Sounds like big news, but it's really not. I think he still doesn't have a sack yet this year.
He does not.
Yeah. I mean, he's been awful since he's gotten there. So that's not huge. It's something Roberson is the backup. It's not worth your time. Trust me.
Name's bigger than the production at this point.
This is true. So did you guys see this? Trey Hendrickson sacks Matt Ryan with his own offensive lineman.
It was awesome.
That was pretty good. And Hendrickson's quietly tied for the league lead right now with Garrett, I think, or Donald, or both.
Yep.
Yeah.
somebody just picked him up in the IDP Invitational for his playoff run. I was very surprised he was there. So I grabbed him. But here's my favorite thought from this. So once you watch that play, you know what the number one place I'd like to be this week? I would love to be in the O-line meeting for the Falcons, sitting in the back while they watch that play to hear what the O-line coach says. You know what I mean? Like something brutal. Like O-line coaches are not like kind coaches. They are usually pretty brutal individuals, you know? I would love to hear what they're going to say about that play. But yeah, it was beautiful, man. I love Hendrickson. He's completely just destroyed Davenport's value. But at the same time, he's fun to watch.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Look at this shit. Get out of here. Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, that was fun. Okay, speaking of the Saints, it's 11 ribs, not 5. That kind of blew my mind a little bit. I didn't even know you had like 11 ribs. You do? Like 12 maybe total, 6 and 6? I don't know. That's a lot of ribs for
That's a
Drew
lot
Brees.
of ribs.
Yeah.
That's a lot of ribs.
That's
I just traded him in the 30-man league that Nate runs. I traded him and Michael Thomas for Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
So I was pretty excited about it because I was like, I don't know, Drew Brees is coming back next year. And then in the 30-man league, it's kind of hard to find QBs. So, but yeah, no, I mean, that's interesting. The fact they went with Taysom Hill instead of Winston was also really interesting too. And
it was. And it worked. I mean, it was okay. You know, he completed passes. He had a touchdown called back. He looked okay.
Did you see that rollout pass where he like threw it on the ground about 8 feet in front of his receiver? It was amazing. I'm like, okay, so that's where Taysom Hill you see when people talk about him as a passer. But I actually thought he was solid, you know?
Yeah, it was fine. And here's the thing, like, I get it. Like, yeah, Winston, you're gonna get production, but they don't need to go crazy like that. Yeah, they'll get the picks too, and that's what they don't need. Their defense is playing really well. They've got a nice run game.
Yep.
Just play old fashioned football. That's all you have to do.
Absolutely, dude.
They'll be fine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. Okay. Other things that sucked this week. Jayon Brown, done for the season. I didn't see the injury, but I heard like his elbow popped out or something.
Oh, that's gross.
Dude, this year is just full of just like grotesque, terrible injuries. I mean, you can't tell me that this has anything to do with the fact of like the lack of preseason or like I don't know.
At this point.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know.
Unless
like, is it just karma? Is it karma?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's that. But like, unless the COVID protocols where maybe they're practicing less each week because they have to do it in such strict guidelines.
Yeah,
it's just not allowing their bodies to be seasoned this year.
Yeah, it's crazy the type of injuries we're seeing this year. It's insane, dude.
I think it's the turf for the leg stuff. It's this new turf they're going with. One of my clients is like a turf science major or whatever that is. You know, where you go to school to like be the guy that's on the Red Sox and takes care of the field, basically, right? Whatever that is. And he was telling me about this new like fake turf with the pebbles and shit, the rubber pebbles. Yeah, it's got no give. You know, like you plant and it doesn't give, it sticks. That's why you're blowing your ACL out and stuff. Like, so I don't know. Makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. Has anyone checked in on Hollywood? Is he doing okay with this one? That's a tough loss for them. You know?
It is. It is.
They have no depth. They have no depth at that position.
Will Compton.
He's still around?
Yeah. So they got him, and then they got like a 6th rounder or something that might play. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, Xavier McKinney to return from IR and possibly play a limited role against Cincinnati. That's good. It's good for him. It's bad for Peppers and Ryan in that whole situation. So we'll see how that plays out. Any of you guys waiting on this McKinney thing?
I'm excited for him. I was big on him as a IDP rookie coming out. I really liked him. I thought he had the makeup of a difference maker. I don't think I have high expectations for this year, but I am excited to watch him play more next year. But yeah, as somebody who has Logan Ryan in multiple places, it upsets me. So
Yeah, I don't have Xavier McKinney, I don't think, anywhere. But I do have Logan Ryan that I got pretty much off the waiver wire in a bunch of leagues. So yeah, that's not great, but I'm pretty sure it's nowhere that matters for me. I think I'm at like 25% success rate this year. Leagues that are good. So most of these now just problems aren't affecting me because all of the other problems this year has affected me in these leagues.
Yeah.
I blame Yahoo for giving me A ratings on all of my leagues this year. They jinxed me.
Yeah, never listen to that. Yeah, so speaking of Yahoo and Sleeper are guilty of this. So last week, they put out this erroneous story that it's not going to be Harvey Lange, it's going to be Patrick Onwuasor as the other inside linebacker for the Jets. And I watched, no bullshit, like 20 different people fall for it. Like, so guess how many combined tackles Onwuasor had this week? Nothing. That's just so irresponsible. You know what I mean? Like people that don't know what they're doing are going to read that, plug it in. They haven't fixed the projections either. They haven't done the same thing with Williamson. They got Williamson like he's still a starter on the Jets. He played like 18% of snaps this week.
Yeah, they don't care about IDP.
Yeah, it's abundantly obvious. Alrighty, moving on. We got lots of coronavirus shenanigans. We won't even waste any time on that. People got it. Make adjustments. The Chiefs won the Busgate revenge game. That was cool. I enjoyed that. That was actually a pretty good game. You guys enjoyed that, right?
Oh yeah, big time, dude. I think that the Chiefs and the Raiders being competitive with each other is phenomenal for football. Like you got like two phenomenal coaches with particular personalities. You know, one's loud, one loves burgers. It's good stuff. You know what I mean? You got you got Mahomes, who's like a marquee player with that offense. Carr played really well in that game, dude. You know.
Yep.
And I think Waller's officially made himself known as the second best tight end in football. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but no, dude, great game. I was really upset that the Raiders lost. I really wanted them to win. I just I don't know. It's just something about the Chiefs. I'm just kind of like, I just like watching you lose. You know?
Well, the one thing that I gotta say is it'd be nice if the Chiefs are kind of setting up, I guess, to be the next dynasty in a way. Like they are. I mean, we're still early on, so who knows what happens? Something, God forbid, could happen to Patrick Mahomes or something along those lines, or they just start tanking. But if they are going to replicate, what the Patriots were, maybe like the last few decades, that's maybe a little bit too much for that. But what I'm saying is it's nice that there's two teams in the same division that are competitive at that level, so that it's interesting to watch, and it's not just the Patriots in the AFC East. Just all the other teams suck, and they're automatically going to make it. So there's at least some competition there within the division to keep it, like not a sure thing.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what I was trying to say, and I didn't think of that point. I think it was just stuck in my mind. That's perfect, dude. That's it. It just gives the parity. You know what I mean? Right. It's awesome, dude. Yeah,
and it gives you that rivalry for like who's gonna get it this year, kind of thing. Like, who's gonna make it out of that division? Who's gonna get the first round bye? Because now there's only one first round bye, right, per conference.
Yep.
So.
Plus, Chargers got a young gunslinger there. They're not too far away.
Nope.
Yeah. That's going to be a really tough division.
Yeah,
really tough division.
You got Horse Cocklock there too.
And would you? So talking about coaches, would you compare the Chiefs coach and the Raiders coach there to old Belichick versus Ryan from like 10-ish years ago, with all of the talk and like the back and forth. That used to be pretty entertaining.
Yeah, it was entertaining.
I think the reason you can never compare that is that nobody is Rex Ryan. Like
True.
what Rex Ryan brought to a rivalry and just sheer arrogance.
Yeah.
And like somewhat pretentious because he never really backed it up. So, the thing about it is like it's never like that. And like I feel like so Gruden would be the Ryan, but he's more of like a lovable version. And then like you got
back it up.
Right. And then you got Reed, who's more like the Belichick, but Belichick is just so boring and dry. I love the man to death. You know what I mean?
Right.
But Reed is like he's like a quiet character. You know what I mean? Like there's just a different dynamic
with a walrus.
Yeah. The guy, you're gonna tell me that guy when he made his burger comment didn't know that was hilarious? Of course he knew that was hilarious. You know what I mean? Like the guy's amazing, dude. So like, yeah, no, I mean, I get what you're trying to say there, but I actually feel like it could be more entertaining because they're just better personalities. Rex is just annoying,
Right.
Weird dude. Loves his feet.
Yeah, I was gonna say something about the foot stuff. That's
one of my team names.
Yeah, that's
on foot fetish.
that's on brand for us. That's for sure.
Nice.
Alrighty, last couple. Tua got benched for Fitzmagic. I mean, I'm not reading too far into this. That was just they were running out of options.
I thought he got hurt.
I thought that's what it was too.
Yeah. So I thought it was like an injury. And like my favorite thing about this year is Fitz's response to getting benched. I loved that. He was so honest. It was like passion, fire, and honesty. It was great. He's like, yeah, it sucks that I got benched. And I was like,
well, yeah.
I like that. I like that, dude. Where everyone's like, I understand what the team's doing. No, Fitz was pissed, and I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. And they were playing well with him. You know what I mean? I mean, not phenomenally, but they were playing well. You know what I mean?
They were doing above Miami average.
Yeah, that's pretty well.
Yeah, for them, yeah.
I have a really close friend that's a Dolphins fan, and I haven't been able to give him any crap this year. It feels like something's missing in my life. But the fact that he hasn't been sending anything back to me I'm like, dude, there's like golden opportunities for the last 5 years of crap I've been throwing at you. So
no, if I had any Patriots fan friends, I would be giving them a lot of shit this year.
Yeah.
It says he got benched.
I see. That's the thing is like it seemed like he got rolled up on, like he had something with his leg, and then he got put down. I thought he got hurt.
Yeah, I don't know. Regardless, I mean that it is what it is. He's gonna get a legit shot, so it's fine.
If you wanted to ask me right now, I would probably invest. I'm gonna say it. I'd invest in Tua over Herbert.
Really?
Yep. I think. All right. Recency bias, dude. Like Tua went 3-0 in his first 3 starts, and he looked good, right? Herbert's also playing against game scripts where he has to throw the freaking football. You know what I mean? If they start to become a competitively good team, that ain't happening. He also didn't have Eckler, so the dude's just like chucking. Don't get me wrong, dude. I'm not saying the guy's not good. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna invest in Tua over Herbert. That's all I'm saying. And I felt that way before, and now the fact that Tua has been able to show something, and I actually also like if Miami adds a third receiver to that core, it's going to be special. So I don't know, but yeah, I mean, yeah,
Tua's close. Yep.
Yeah, Tua should have been the 101 before he got hurt. And then Burrow just came out of nowhere. So yeah, I'm gonna say steadfast now that it's Tua time.
Yeah, I don't have any Tua, so that's interesting. I do have some Herbert because he was easier to get.
Yep.
I want to say he was round 2 in a super flex.
Yeah, when we were doing our preview, I said if he made it anywhere past 108, you're getting a steal because people just it was kind of weird. Like I wasn't high on him, but I was like, he's clearly gonna have a chance to start. And they added 2 Pro Bowl linemen, and he had good wide receivers, and one of the best receiving back in football. All that adds up to success. You know what I mean? I didn't like Herbert coming out of college. I didn't. But opportunity is king in fantasy. You know what I mean? And having a valuable young QB in a super flex is insanely important. Like, if you can nail a rookie QB, you just solidified a roster spot for at least 6 years. That doesn't happen in the other position. You know what I mean? I get the idea of like, oh, don't invest. You can go get them. No, there's only 30 of them starting. You know what I mean? So there's more depth of those positions. So like, yeah, I'm one of those people that where people devalue the QB in those super flex drafts. I'm like, you're overthinking it. This is a very simple concept. That's just the way that I feel about it. So I actually had the 109 pick and he went 108. No, I had the 110 pick. He went 108, and I was a huge CD Lamb truther, and he went 109. And I'm getting Jerry Jeudy, and the guy who got 108 and 109 was one of my co-hosts, and he was like texting me, being like, "Give me your offers." I'm like, "You're not going to trade him to me. You're just going to screw with me for the next hour, so I'm not even going to do this." But yeah, that was a rough draft for me.
Yes, sir. Okay, and last but not least on the news, we've got MVS getting death threats after dropping a ball. So business as usual, basically.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know why I put that on there. Like, it's a waste of time to even talk about it. People are going to be assholes. Like, is what it is.
Charge him if you can. It's messed up.
Yep. This was interesting though. Did you guys see this? So Reddit, there's like an operation. I'm not even kidding. There's an operation on Reddit to vote Yannick Ngakoue to the Pro Bowl. Good luck with that, by the way. And if that happens, the Jags get a higher conditional draft pick. So all the Jags people on Reddit have gone out and talked to everyone in the NFC, North? Bears, Packers, Lions, and Saints fans, because Minnesota beats the Saints a lot in the playoffs, to help screw over Minnesota. And it's working. They're getting enough votes that he might get in. That's kind of smart and pretty interesting.
Yep. I love it because social media is giving power to the fans to directly find an outcome for power they shouldn't have. But but hell yeah, abuse that baby if they're going to give it to you, you know?
Yeah, is it literally just a popular vote? I thought there were like certain like analysts and stuff get a more weighted vote. Like they have
I'm sure it's a
fan vote and then
it's got to be some sort of combination, probably. I don't know, but he only played 31% of snaps this week, and this is his first good week in a month. He hasn't done shit since he got to the Ravens. Like, it's going to be a tough sell,
right?
But whatever. We'll see what happens.
MyFantasyFootballShirt.com is your place to get top quality fantasy football gear. Get yourself some merch from some of your favorite podcasts. Need some custom shirts for your league? Contact us today. Just go to MyFantasyFootballShirt.com. All right, so this is the part of the show where we pair together two players. Wow, doing great. Yeah. See, I'm overthinking it now because Johnny did such a great job while I was like gone that I'm coming back and I'm just he's taking over, man. So great part of the show. Pair together 3 sets of players and talk about who we like over the others. Let's talk about last week's gut checks. Came through Twitter. We've got pair of linebackers, the Saints' Demario Davis versus Detroit's Jamie Collins. With 179 votes, 76% Demario Davis.
Yeah, that was I thought it'd be a little closer. They're not that far apart in points, but I agree. Yeah.
Yep. All right. The Chiefs' Daniel Sorensen, safety, versus the Saints safety Malcolm Jenkins. 176 votes, 59% Sorensen.
Sorensen's so hot right now.
He is.
You got to play that hot hand.
Here's a nice close one. So we got pair wide receivers. Minnesota's Justin Jefferson, Atlanta's Calvin Ridley. So, Todd, you weren't a part of this, so I want to get your opinion. Who do you like better, Ridley or Jefferson?
It's Jefferson in a landslide. He's legit. He's been definitely moving. Like, he's been trending up where Ridley hasn't been trending down. The Falcons are a mess. Ridley hasn't had a really good game since week 7, you know? And yeah, I can't wait to see what Jefferson does with a good quarterback throwing him the ball. That's going to be different. But yeah, you got to go with the guy that's trending in the right direction. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So 107 votes, 51% Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, I get that.
Very close. Very close.
Yeah, I mean, Justin Jefferson's a hot button topic right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we're bringing it back this week. So first one on offense this week, we're going to go with, once again, a pair of first-year wide receivers, CeeDee Lamb, Cowboys, or Justin Jefferson. I'm going to go with Lamb because not by much. I love Jefferson. I've got him in a few places. He's great. It's just game script. The Vikings aren't throwing unless they have to. Cousins is not the greatest quarterback on this planet. Assuming Dak doesn't snap his leg again next year, you're talking an amazing season for Lamb. And Lamb's been able to keep it going with third and fourth string and practice squad quarterbacks. Like, did you see that catch he made last week? Like, holy shit. The kid is unbelievable. So by a hair, I'm going with Lamb. What do you guys got?
So are we talking for this week or for a dynasty roster?
It can be whatever you want.
Okay, so for this week, it's easily Jefferson for me. With Thielen on COVID, that just gives him volume.
Oh, yeah.
And then the other thing, too, is the Washington pass defense is one of the best in football. So that, for me, just makes it easier. If you want me to pick who I want for a dynasty, it's not even close. It's CeeDee Lamb. You know, like, that's been a popular one on Twitter. Like, people talking about T. Higgins is like a top 5 dynasty best rookie, or like Jefferson. And I was like, it's not, Lamb's fault that all their QBs besides Dak Prescott suck. You know what I mean? And like CeeDee Lamb like showed early on that he's a different type of animal, dude. Like that guy is, yeah. I've been pounding the table for him before the NFL draft, and I'm not going to stop pounding the table. I'm actually not going to physically pound the table because that will really just cause some distortion.
Nice. Yeah, I think I'm going Lamb on this one. I've got him in a couple places and very happy for it. Those are probably the places where I'm still in it, to be honest. Like he's been consistent and he's been good. But I do like Justin Jefferson, so I'm not discounting him at all. But CeeDee Lamb just takes it by a hair.
Yep.
We'll see what people think.
I definitely got Lamb in 28 days later because Sean just sends me trash offers for him. Just trash.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Okay, first pair of defenders. We got linebackers here. Get you linebackers. Alexander Johnson, Broncos, or Foye Oluokun, Falcons. So the conventional wisdom would be to say Foye because in sleeper you can plug him into your defensive back slot. But not everyone plays on sleeper. Offenses, I haven't looked at the time of possession for these two recently, but it's probably fairly close. They're both not that great. Despite, surprisingly, the Falcons still have the second best pass offense in the league, which blew my mind when I saw that today. I don't know how that's possible. I think I'm going to go with Oluokun by a hair, just by a hair. The position he's in is the one Campbell really flourished in last year. We've seen flashes of that. And yeah, that positional versatility is nice. So by a little bit, what do you guys got?
I'm with you, man. Same thing. And I also feel like he's been trending up where Johnson's been kind of nothing too special lately. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stagnant. There we go. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I've been teaching too much, man. My vocabulary is shot. So, yeah. But yeah, no, that's so I'd rather take the guy trending up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm pretty sure Oluokun is the only one I have out of these two. So he's more on my radar anyways. So I'm just going to stick with Oluokun, and you guys have very good reason for it.
Alrighty. And last but not least, the last two of the big three still with us this year. Budda Baker, Cardinals, Jamal Adams, Jets. And I'm going to tell you why I'm going Budda Baker here. So availability is the best ability, right? Budda Baker chops off part of his finger, keeps playing. Jamal Adams catches a cold, gone for 5 weeks. Okay. Offenses. Seattle, pretty good offense, pretty good time of possession rating. On the Jets, Adams, Okay, so Jets are 32nd in the league right now in time of possession. So I'm going off on a little tangent here because remember at the beginning of the season, people said not only is Adams the best safety, but he gained value by going to the Seahawks.
Yeah.
No way. No way. He lost 4 minutes a game on the field. That's what happened. This last week, the Jets spent 37 minutes playing defense. That's if Jamal Adams was still over there, I would have no doubt he would be my answer here, and he would still be the most valuable safety in the league. But this year, I think Budda Baker's taken it. He's had a really great season. He hasn't gotten dinged up. He's been there. Like you can't score IDP points if you're not in the game. So I'm gonna go Budda, but I want to see what you guys think.
Go ahead, Nate.
You know what? I gotta say it though. Budda is definitely my choice here, and the cream on the top is the fact that like he's semi underrated. The last year's, the draft coming into this season and everything, like people were you got Derwin James above him, you got Jamal Adams above him, you've got people who do linebackers first. Like you could get Budda Baker after waiting, and he's arguably one of the best safeties in the league. Granted, we handicapped like two guys, like Derwin James, rest in peace, like this year. Like there's guys that should have been in that mix, but he is just like he's the guy, and he wasn't expensive. So I'm going Budda Baker. You can't change my mind. I've said Budda Baker all season.
Yeah, I'm Budda too, and I have nothing to add except I agree with both of those points. You know what I mean? Like the availability and like where he was and like what he's keeping up. The other thing about Adams is too, I think he's getting a little soft for my taste. Like he's been.
Yeah. Did you? You've seen what I've seen. You saw him miss that tackle in the hole for the touchdown.
He didn't play it out, man. You know what I mean? Like he's like it's not the same player, Right. But then nope.
He's disappeared. He's disappeared a few games this year, even when he was completely in there. The competition for tackles is different in Seattle than it was in New York.
Yep.
The offense itself creates different opportunities for him in Seattle because these Seahawks can score and the Jets can't. So the Seahawks can get out in front and force the other team to abandon the run. Where do all the easy run stopping tackles come from if they're not running the ball? You know what I mean? Like just that whole thing before the season of not only is he the best, but he got better was just the craziest fucking thing I've ever heard.
It's kind of it was one of those things where I feel like it was like from the Legion of Boom, like hangover. You know what I mean? It was just like a name recognition thing. It's like I was like, what? He's all of a sudden just Cam Chancellor? Like why? Like that makes no sense. You know what I mean? I definitely should have said Earl Thomas, but whatever. Anyways, for this week though, in terms of sucking, Carson Wentz has a significant lead on Cam Newton now. So I would definitely go with Adams this week though. So I would give like for me, like when I want to pick between two guys, I pick for the ceiling in that situation where I have more confidence in Adams getting a pick. Like when is it Jalen Hurts time? It's gotta be coming.
Oh, it's gotta be.
It's gotta be coming.
I'll tell you who I'd take over both these guys this week, though. Jordan Poyer. That's who. The actual safety one. Give me that guy.
I got him everywhere.
I'm in an all IDP league. I traded for Devin White and Jordan Poyer. Pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
Nice. So that's what we got. We'll have the people vote on it, and we'll circle back next week.
All right.
Oop.
Boop. Boop.
Yep.
Gobble. Gobble.
Gobble.
All right. So we're doing the questions, right?
Yeah.
So if you want a chance to get your question answered on the show, become a subscriber. Go to idpguys.org and subscribe for about $1 a month and get into the Slack chat and ask away, because that's where Johnny usually pulls his questions. other means of doing it would be to leave a voicemail at 313. I forgot the phone number.
Wasn't it 989 something?
It's something. It's in the
Go to the Slack chat.
it's in the podcast notes. Just you go there. No one calls our phone line that much anymore, anyways. Where are you from Oregon?
Yeah. I haven't seen him in a minute.
Yeah, well, not since the poop video.
That's right. That was great.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we answer questions on the air. Johnny, what do you got?
Yep. Yeah, there's also a contact us box on the website, but Nate's not a big fan of that. So, yeah, just join the Slack chat. Okay, this one is from Shartleton Davis at Outlook.com. And he was looking for thoughts on the Kyle Menke article about the Lions, but Sean is not here. There was a great article this week. Nate, did you read that about Matt Patricia?
I really didn't read it. I looked and saw that it was Kyle basically upset that Patricia's still the coach, and I was like, "Yep, same."
Yeah, no, it was good. He lambasted him.
Nice.
But whatever. That's same shit we talk about every week. So I'll spin this a little bit. So Todd, tell us about the Patriots. You guys were looking good with that rainy win against the Ravens. Things were trending in the right direction. Jacoby Myers came out of nowhere. They looked okay against the Texans, but couldn't get it done, and that kind of felt like, you know, one of, if not the last nail in the coffin for the playoffs this year. What are your thoughts going forward here?
Just give it up. Like it's not happening. Like, man, you just want me to just go on the same rant again, don't you, Johnny? But no, for me, like the whole thing is just kind of like there's really like there's no alpha in that wide receiver core. Like Cam Newton looks horrendous throwing the football. He looks better, but still bad. You know what I mean? And the defense is pulling its weight for the most part. It's time to blow this thing up. It's over. You know, like Brady's in Tampa, Gronk's in Tampa, Edelman's. Who knows what Edelman's doing? He's doing infomercials somewhere, like nursing like multiple injuries. It's just time to hit the reset button and rebuild. My only question is, Bill, are you down for a rebuild at your age? That's it, man. Because, and if he wants to go right up into the sunset and leave the dumpster fire, he owes us nothing, you know? And you know what, Josh? Now you can prove if you actually are a head coach and actually build something up. And also, for the last, can we just, you know, Stidham sucks. Like, let's not even, like, pretend that Stidham's an answer here, you know? So, the thing that sucks is that in this draft, I was talking to Sean Kennedy, who's one of the co-hosts of my podcast, and he's talking about how Zach Wilson would be there when we pick. I go, no, he won't. He will not be there. We are just good enough to not get a good quarterback in this draft. And it's infuriating, you know? So now I'm kind of like just having like dreams of Sam Howell falling in our lap, and we just suck for a whole year. But whatever, man. It's just like this football purgatory. Like, just give it up already. It's over. You're not a contender. Cam Newton is not a winning quarterback anymore. He's in the twilight of his career. Call it a day.
You guys should trade for Stafford.
I'm all set.
No? You don't want it? No, just as an intermediate, like Stafford's going to be the better thrower than Cam Newton. Get you like just getting ready for your next, like, draft a quarterback, whatever, bring in Stafford. And I'm not even saying give us a first round pick on that, but like, I think I'm on the wave of let's get rid of Stafford. And I think the Patriots are one place he could go and supplant Cam Newton, just to give like you guys a in-between guy, a veteran to show the next one.
Do you know who I actually wanted this year? Who I wanted to come in, and I wanted them to draft a quarterback though too. I wanted Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's who I wanted. I was like 1-2 year deal, cheap money. He's he's a Harvard guy too. Like there's a nice little like connection there. And then I was like, yeah. So the thing with Stafford is like he's too good for what I want. Like I really just want them to like recognize it's time to break it down to build it back up again. This whole thing of trying to hold on to what it was it's over. You know what I mean? So, and there's some pieces in that defense that are aging out too, and it's going to be dark, man. It's going to be dark. So we might as well just buy into it. And man, dude, Patriots fans are spoiled, man. It's going to sound terrible for a few years, but yeah, I mean, I remember.
I mean, you're from the Boston area. I mean,
man.
Some of the worst fans in this region are Patriots fans.
So let me while we got you hearing on this couple things. So since last time we talked, I believe this is just going from memory. Winovich's snaps were like 20%, 12%, 95%, 80%. What the shit is going on there? We still don't know, right? It's just.
So what's going on is I have no freaking idea. I just don't get it. I feel like it's an overuse of rotation, but I don't know. Like he's clearly one of the best. He is the. Uchi's been good, dude, since he came back. Uchi's been showing some flashes. I don't think he's one of the best ones, but I'm saying like there's potential that he could be a significant player. You know what I mean? But Winnie's definitely the best edge guy we got. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating.
It's very frustrating.
Because you just never know. You can't even plug them in because you don't know if it's going to be a 12% day or a 90% day.
Nope.
And you're a Patriots fan. That's how their defense has been for fucking years.
The way their backfield's been, even their wide receivers are like, unless it's a stud, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, man.
They're few and far between on the stud thing too. Like,
yep.
And even when that happens, like Jamie Collins a year or two ago, he was a stud, but it was not an every week thing. It was 30 points one week, 0 the next. That's how it works.
I think the best way I can ever explain watching the Patriots defense is recognizing why Bill Belichick is Bill Belichick and why we're sitting on a couch. You know what I mean? Right. Is like the guy made his name as a defensive coordinator for Bill Parcells. Yep. That's how he got everywhere he needed ever to be. You know what I mean? He made that Cleveland Browns defense when he first became a coach like phenomenal, and they sucked. You know what I mean? So like Bill's a phenomenal, like probably the best defensive mind in the history of football. You know what I mean? Like if you want to debate who's the greatest head coach of all time, you're an idiot anyways. But the best defensive coach of all time, you're even more of an idiot if you want to argue that. So with Bill, sometimes I don't know, maybe he's just stuck in his ways or me seeing things that I don't understand. You know what I mean? So, but Winnie should definitely be on the field more as far as I'm concerned. But
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking for another thing to bitch about. I don't know.
They do what they got to. They can do what they got to do to beat whoever's in front of them, and that's always been the thing. But it's funny because the last couple of weeks I've seen this, renewed uproar of Kyle Duggar is the second coming of Jesus, and it's like, is he? Is he, or is he just another Adrian Phillips? And you're lucky if he's that good,
right?
It's probably number 2,
right? And I'm excited to watch him because what else do I have to look forward to? You know what I mean? Like you got to be an optimist somewhere in there, So
yeah. But you just can't trust basically anything there. Not even Gilmore this year for IDP. Can't even trust Gilmore.
My only thing with the Patriots, from being a Patriots fan, and when you can tell when you talk to people about the Patriots in fantasy, when they aren't Patriots fans, like people I watch the Patriots games, I go, I watch the Patriots games, dude. You know what I mean? Like that's my team. I never miss a game. Damian Harris is the real deal on that team. He is going to be taking that backfield over. And it's just go look at the carries, dude. It's happening now. You just basic counting stats that Spaceman tell me don't matter, where AJ Green's air yards are phenomenal, but he sucks. So anyways, you know what I mean? My point being is that just watch the game. Harris is a different beast than the rest of those players, man. So that's the one take I can say in the Patriots is invest in Damian Harris. Everything else, get out. I think Bird's actually it's a decent dart throw right now too. After that big week, and he's cheap, so why not? You know.
Yep.
Yeah, nice. All right, it's gobble gobble time. We're here for our Thanksgiving special, and if our listeners should know by now, we have 2 unique episodes a year. 4th of July, Thanksgiving. We go through the meal and we give our comps. So Johnny, you take it away, and let's get this thing rolling.
Yeah, so this is one of our famous 2 episodes a year. Anyone that's heard it before will know the deal. If not, we take a food from the Thanksgiving meal and we give a player comp, and we have to defend our reasoning, basically.
Yep.
And it's not universal. Nate may love turkey, I may hate turkey.
Yeah.
So you
So
just
it's
gotta yeah,
two ways. You're also defending your thoughts on the food.
your food take as well. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So truly one of a kind. All right, we'll start with the turkey. It's
Mhm.
it's
So Johnny, are you throwing in Sean's take too?
which
He said he sent in the chat all of his takes. So
oh, I
it'd be
didn't
interesting
I
to
didn't
include
did,
that.
did not know they were in there. Let me check right here. Okay. Got it. Okay. So Sean's turkey take is good when used good when used properly, like Isaiah Simmons. That's pretty good.
Oh,
That's pretty
yeah.
good. I love it.
That's solid.
I went with boring, inconsistent, good, not great. Neville Hewitt.
Like it.
Man.
So we actually do a question a day on our episode. And we did one that was the most overrated food, and I picked turkey.
Wow.
The other 2 that got thrown out were lobster and condiments was Spaceman, and we told him that was an absolute bullshit argument. So for most overrated food, I went with most overrated tight end, Mark Andrews.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
I
That
feel like
tracks.
you guys are all jaded on turkey, and I'm sitting here. I've probably got the best turkey recipe in the tri-state area. Like my turkey always comes out like juicy, consistently delicious. Like it is the best part of the meal. And I mean, when you're going with consistency, I really like Chuck Clark. He's been consistent this year, and he's someone that's like, I'm happy he's on my team, and I love it.
His price point is similar to turkey too. He's not going to break the bank.
Yeah. He's the Aldi turkey that you make really well.
I like that. I like that. I like
Very
that.
nice. Very
My
nice.
wife makes a fantastic turkey, but beef is king, baby.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Johnny missed out because we're quarantining, but we had Friendsgiving on Saturday, and I mean 3 years running, I've never had anyone say that turkey wasn't the best that they've ever had.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Johnny, you've had our turkey last year.
I believe I have. Yeah. It was I've never you guys never cooked anything that's bad. So let's put it that way. Yeah.
True.
Okay, we will move on to the mashed potatoes. The one of the most recognizable parts of the Thanksgiving meal. For my view, I'd say if served proper with good gravy, it could be the best part of the meal. Much like TJ Watt, if done the right way, it could be the best part of your lineup. If you throw him in an IDP flex spot and you don't expect him to do something for you every week, it could be the greatest thing ever when he blows up for 3 sacks and a forced fumble and wins you your week. If you throw him in a regular linebacker slot and he gives you 2 combined tackles like he did this week, it ain't going to go so well, right? So it's all about expectations. So that's where I'm going with that. Sean has mashed potatoes. Easy to use, staple of Thanksgiving, reliable, much like Bobby Wagner.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
All right. So for me, mashed potatoes, simply amazing or super disappointing. Boom bust. You know?
Ooh.
So with that, I went with Tyler Lockett.
Ah.
4 games under 10 points, a 38.5-point game, and a 57.9-point game. Absolutely maddening to figure out. And that almost that 58-point spot, yeah, Sean had him. He beat me that week in 28 days later. And Sean's team sucks, but he won. So, yeah.
Dude,
Sorry.
so trying to figure out if it's going to be Lockett or it's going to be Metcalf and DFS is giving me an ulcer this year.
Oh, yeah. I avoided. Yeah. I gotta say that I really miss Sean because I'm talking a lot of trash. I love back and forth, dude. So yeah,
he's good for that.
yeah.
So my mashed potatoes are there's a common thread here. When they're well seasoned, they are amazing. That is Myles Garrett, because when he's not well seasoned, he tries to hit a quarterback with his helmet.
That's phenomenal. That's fantastic. I love that.
Beautiful. Love it. That's a good comp. Okay, we're gonna move on to stuffing. Stuffing, obviously, part of the meal. It could be delicious. It could also be gross. I like celery when it's cold but not cooked. I don't know if that's weird. But yeah, if there's too much celery in the stuffing, I'm not into it. Much like if there's too much Minka Fitzpatrick in my lineups, I'm not into it.
I like that.
He could, he has those big games. He had like 2 picks the other week. He had like a 30-point game. But most of the time, that's not what you're getting. You're getting like 4 combined tackles if you're lucky. He's very, spotty, unreliable, inconsistent. Just like stuffing. You got to get the right kind of stuffing. So
And if you eat too much stuffing, your underwear looks spotty.
yes, absolutely. Yeah, too much Minka Fitzpatrick does lead to shitty underwear. Sean has, when paired properly, needs support to reach potential consistency or to reach its potential consistently. Lamar Jackson.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's solid. That's
Needs support. I like
gravy. You got to add the gravy in the turkey.
Right.
Gravy.
Yeah.
It brings it all together.
Yeah. Love it.
I am a huge stuffing person, so I see it as a stud side dish. It's often overlooked by its competition, and I would call that juju. All right.
Ooh.
So we had a slow start, wide 5 for weeks 7 through 11. Right. There's a buy window here, people, and juju's the buy. I'm just saying. So yeah.
Nice.
I like it.
So for me, I'm going to start off with the player and then give the reasoning. So my stuffing is Dre Greenlaw. That's because he's better out of the box. Free agency. Drafting Dre Greenlaw, not always the greatest thing. But getting him after he starts blowing up off the waiver wire, delicious. Like stovetop stuffing out of the box.
Yeah. Yeah, you can only get Trey Greenlaw when Quan Alexander shatters into a million pieces, like every season.
Yeah,
that was fantastic.
Beautiful. All righty, moving on to cranberry sauce. Another staple of the meal. It's sweet, it's tasty, much like Jimmy G, my future husband. So that's my cranberry sauce. Sean has it's trash, like Adrian Peterson.
Love it. I said cranberry sauce, pretty excited for. Then you take a bite and you're like, like DeForest Buckner. I invested with a lot, loved his value where I got him, and he's been nothing special.
It's strange. He's still I feel like he's had a blast season too. You know what I mean? But defensive tackle is not having a great. He's still 4th in most of my leagues, which blew my goddamn mind. I was like, when? How?
I've had him like as that guy that was just like the top of the tier 2 position, because tier 1 is like it's like tier 2 and then like tier 1 where you don't know who's tier 1. You know what I mean? But I was like, nope. I'm really excited. Oh, this isn't so great. Cranberry sauce.
Yep.
All day.
Yep.
I feel bad for you guys and your cranberry sauce capades, I guess. I don't know. Like, what do you call that? Like your usage of cranberry sauce? Like, here it is. So in my household, my wife cooks down raw cranberries,
Oh,
adds in orange zest and orange juice, and creates our own fresh cranberry sauce, which surpassed my prior to, her doing this for me. I had the jellied cranberry in a can, which was like, yeah, I'll use it, add it to my turkey, and it's good. This is literally so delicious that like I have it with the turkey, I have it with the stuffing, have it like just pile everything up on a fork, top it with this cranberry sauce. Delicious cranberry and zesty orange. It's great. So it's delicious when fresh, like Jamie Collins.
Ooh. Ooh. I like that. As a Patriots fan, I like that.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, because the longer he's out there playing in the league, the more stale and shitty he gets.
Yeah, yeah. But when he's fresh, he can have some good games.
I like it. I like it. Alrighty, moving on to the green beans. Anyone that's heard this segment before knows that I am not much of a healthy eater or a vegetable person. I think they're disgusting. I'm not a big fan. Much like the Lions defense for IDP purposes. Listen up, Lions defense. What happened to you? Huh? Last year, you gave us Tracy Walker. You gave us that. You had Trey Flowers with the Y, the good one. Where's he been? He's gone. Where's Tracy Walker? Playing 52% of snaps last week, giving us 2 combined tackles. What is that shit? What is going on? Jeff Okudah, you spend all that draft capital to give him 32% of snaps. What the hell is going on here? Guess who their leading, besides Jamie Collins, their leading linebacker in snaps was last week? Take a wild guess.
Jared Davis.
Reggie Ragland.
Ooh.
At 42% of snaps, dropping down 38% from the week before because he was almost worth a waiver wire pick. And then just to screw everyone over that did that, they cut his snaps in half. This defense is maddening. It's worse than the Patriots, and the Patriots is pretty goddamn maddening.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not into it. Lions, you're on my shit list. Sean has green beans, underrated, misprepared. Is that even a word?
No.
I don't know.
No.
He should be here to defend his takes.
Yeah. So underrated, misprepared, misused in NFL context. DeAndre Swift. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he is misused. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
Misprepared is not a word. Just want to make that clear.
Maybe he's saying like it can be like the green beans can be made wrong.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so like your running back plan can be made wrong with DeAndre Swift, or they are doing that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which
Makes
is
sense.
true.
Yep.
So green beans for me, a solid veggie, steady production, but never going to be a star. JD McKissick.
Oh,
So, 14 and 15 targets over week 9 and week 10. That's phenomenal out of the backfield.
Yep.
Very reliable, steady flex option, especially if you're doing multiple flexes. If you're contending, that's the kind of a guy you want in the back end if you're starting lineup.
Nice.
Yep. And that's another hard DFS one every week. Gibson or McKissick, they're like $100 difference. Like, which one am I going with?
Right.
Nice. Yeah. So for green beans, I actually really like them when they are prepared correctly as like a solid side. Not main course, but definitely kind of like getting my heaps in if it's solidly well done. But most of the time people just screw it up. a lot of the time, and it's kind of gross, or I should say can be gross, because there's a fine line. I still like my veggies. I eat a lot of vegetables, so I can deal with quite a bit. But I'm gonna go with Foyesade Oluokun, because when he is on, he is great. But he's not always on. So, you do take that sometimes.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
And then if you sprinkle on the onion, the fried onions on top, and that's the DB, the extra
Designation.
slot. Yeah.
You want to talk about a screwed up DB designation that works out to your advantage? Any of you guys on Yahoo find out who DJ Reed is yet on the Seahawks?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, right? Plugging, the leading tackler on the team into your corner slot just because Yahoo screwed that up is the greatest thing ever. Don't ever change Yahoo. Keep doing what you do.
I'll never forget Joe Webb, baby. That was the best thing ever.
Yeah,
you guys remember Joe Webb?
I do not. What was his deal?
Joe Webb was the quarterback for the Vikings at the end of the year, and he had dual eligibility as a wide receiver.
Oh, that's like
I was in 2 leagues, and the guy who picked him up in both leagues because he's the first one to notice won both those leagues.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Did either of you guys get to play Taysom Hill?
He was in every FanDuel lineup. He got me 24 points from tight end in FanDuel.
So I actually messaged Sleeper to talk about my frustration with this, because now it was kind of a joke. I'm in a teacher charity league where we end up raising like $2,000 for No Kid Hungry, and I auctioned off my first round pick for $50, and my friends picked Taysom Hill as my first round draft pick. And I'm like, so I had Taysom Hill just sitting on my bench. I'm like, I could actually use him this week at tight end. And then I'm like, how is he not tight end eligible? Come on, man. I'm like, yeah. I still understand how he was QB eligible at this point, but whatever.
Very strange. So those are all great examples. The greatest one I've ever seen was last year, college fantasy, plugging Lynn Bowden into my wide receiver slot when he played quarterback, wide receiver, and running back.
Yep.
Wow.
It was getting me like 50 points a game. It was unreal. Yeah.
Did you guys? I don't know who sent it. There was it was a tweet sent out this morning with the guy who's in a home league with his mom, who's in her late 60s.
I saw that. Yep.
And then she called support to Yahoo to complain to ESPN to complain about this Taysom Hill debacle and how it lost her the week. And I was like, that's the greatest thing ever. That is the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I can't believe no one fixed that. That was crazy.
I'll put that in the writer's chat. That's too good not to share.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah. Alrighty, moving on to I guess we're getting towards desserts. There's a mix here. So all right, we got pumpkin pie, which is the Thanksgiving pie. I'm a big fan with a little whipped cream on top. I think it's great. Mm-hmm. Pumpkin, apple, and then bukkake pie is probably my third favorite. But it's an all-time pie. It's an all-time, it's top 3 all-time pie. And I was thinking about this. I was like, are there any players right now that are top 3 all-time? Like all-time. People could be like, oh yeah. Well, I mean Brady is, right? But I'm not going to use Brady. Because I'm doing defense. But yes, he is top 3. People would say Mahomes, but we don't know that yet. A lot of people have won Super Bowl. You know what I mean? What's his face? And the Ravens has won Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. What was it, Dilfer?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, okay. Is he top 3? No. I mean, obviously Mahomes is better, but he's only got 1 ring, so he's not in the conversation yet. So I'm thinking defensive guys that are top 3 all time that are playing right now. I'm going Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald is the only defensive player I can think of right now that is guaranteed to be in the top all-time conversation as a top 3 guy at defensive tackle. Mm-hmm. And in fact, I'm having trouble thinking of any that are significantly better than him. Even Warren Sapp in his greatest days was nothing compared to what Aaron Donald is. Not even close.
I think the only guy that's even touching Donald right now might be John Randall, but that's it for me.
Yep. Randall's there. But yeah,
Yep.
so I'm gonna go Aaron Donald because top 3 pie, top 3 DT. Sean has good, but so here's Sean being an asshole. Good, but not a top 3 pie like Khalil Mack. That's a direct shot across my back.
Wow. So he
right
just
there.
took the opposite of yours without even
Yeah.
knowing.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Sean's
That's me.
wrong about shit all the time, and he's a
Yeah.
bot.
He was definitely wrong about T. Higgins, that's for sure. So for pumpkin pie for me, definitely good. I enjoy it. Definitely want a slice, but I'm not investing heavily on my dessert plate like most would with that pie. You know,
Mm.
I'm not looking to spend that kind of plate capital on there. You know, so I'm gonna go with Chase Claypool. All right,
Okay.
I'm worried about all those mouths to feed in Pittsburgh, and I understand. Like, don't get me wrong, he looks phenomenal. You know, but that sophomore slump kind of scares me. And it's not really saying like I don't think he's worth investing in. I don't think he's worth paying what his price is. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's what it is. I'll just take a little sliver of that pumpkin pie. That's all I really want. I got to save room for the trifle that is not on the list, by the way.
Oh, yeah. That is true. Trifle. My wife makes an amazing trifle. And
My cousin every year, man. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. So my wife's a pastry chef.
Okay.
So I mean that's why we have phenomenal food here.
Yeah.
But like she makes a trifle, and one year she did pumpkin cheesecake trifle,
Ooh.
and it was amazing. It had
Yeah.
so like a typical trifle, like you think of. I think more of like the July 4th red, white, and blue trifle where
Yeah.
blueberries, strawberries, cream, all of that stuff. She did like apples and like the pumpkin cheesecake, like squares, and I can't even remember all of the goodness, but it was delicious. But
That sounds amazing.
yeah, it is really good. So for pumpkin pie for me, I'm gonna say it's always good, and it gets even better with whipped cream. Shaq Thompson.
Ooh.
He's a solid player, and then every so often you get that whipped cream game where he's just boom, a little bit better.
Yeah. It wasn't last week because the Panthers spent 37 minutes on offense.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you get a burnt pumpkin pie.
No, I love Shaq Thompson, but that just blew my goddamn mind. How do the Lions get shithoused that bad against the Panthers? Like what? I don't get it.
Yeah, that was
And you know what else the whipped cream was? When Kuechly left, that was huge. Huge whipped cream. Yeah, beautiful.
That's
Good
some
pick.
fresh made whipped cream right there, man. Oof.
Hell yeah. Alrighty, moving on. We got candied yams. It's delicious if you're into that sort of thing. I'm not. I did edge guys in your linebacker slot. I kind of ranted about that earlier, but this can be a few different things. This is set and forget corners, edge guys in your linebacker slot, punting on defensive tackle, all the things that you should never do in IDP, taking linebackers first, all that shit. It's stuff that people do and they just don't understand yet, and they will the hard way eventually. So that's my candied yams. Sean has yams. Delicious, but I never have them. Player I like but don't have any shares of. Chase Young. Oh, he doesn't have any Chase Young shares? What?
I'm surprised.
How do you not have Chase Young shares? Feel bad for the man.
For me, candy yams. I don't know what to make of this food, so I'm gonna stay clear for now unless someone can really sell me on them. All right, I'm like not willing to take a bite unless I get a good pitch. I feel the same way about Antonio Gibson. My bias is still strong. This is how I felt pre-draft, and I recognize the production, but I don't like investing in anything out of Washington whatsoever, except Terry McLaurin. He just sold me. All right, Terry McLaurin's a freaking stud playing with crap behind him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe Gibson in year 2 could change my tune, and then I would pay up for him. Like, I'd be willing to pay up for McLaurin now. But no, I'll stay clear. Get it off my plate. I'll take more stuffing.
Oh, man. So I'm on the other side. Candy yams are old reliable. They are like I eat them and I remember years past, like Thanksgiving, Christmases in the past, and just feel that like loving like family moment. It brings back a lot of memories. But I will say, if they don't have brown sugar on them, they're gross and old, like Calais Campbell.
That's fantastic.
Gross and old like Calais Campbell. That's pretty good. That's
pretty
good.
Yeah. Johnny knows my love for Calais Campbell, and it runs years deep.
Oh, it does.
But, you know, and he can be good. He can still be good, but sometimes he's gross and old.
Yep. I hear him. Alrighty, home stretch here. We got sweet potato casserole. It's also delicious, but not my cup of tea. Much like Patriots IDP producers, I could go on a very similar rant as I did with the Lions one, but it's the same deal, different team. And Miami, to a lesser extent, also does this. Really, the only people you can count on to get significant snaps every week for the Patriots are Gilmore when he's healthy, Phillips occasionally, and that's it. That's it. It's crazy. It's an absolute shit show. You can't count on anything.
Absolute dumpster fire, baby. Blow it up.
Blow it up. All right. Sean had sweet potatoes, simply good. If you don't like them, you're garbage. Brian Burns. Okay. I have no problem with Brian Burns.
Okay. All right. If we don't like Brian Burns, we're garbage. I love Brian Burns, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
If Sean thought I was garbage, I'd be cool with that though too. So sweet potato casserole, the sweeper of all side dishes. Nice little sweet treat. Definitely not a star, but an essential piece to a successful Thanksgiving spread, just like a championship squad and Bud Dupree, who seems to exceed his projections a lot, and he's an absolute stud in leagues that reward sacks heavily, which is the way it should be.
Yep. Yeah, he's very underrated for an edge guy. He doesn't get talked about with like the Shaq Barretts and the Za'Darius Smiths of the world and the TJ Watts of the world. He should though. This is second year in a row, he's really putting it together.
Very good side dish on an IDP winning roster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
Nice. So for me, sweet potato casserole, that's duplicate of candy jams. Like yams, sweet potatoes, it's the same thing. So all you're doing is, duplicating at this point. So while it might look good, it might look sexy, not this year. It's a duplicate. Matt Milano, sexy guy, not doing much this year. Not saying I would never take a dip. Not saying I would never, dip my fork into that. But it's not this year. Not doing it this year. No, those candy jams.
Nice.
Yeah. Yep. Love it. Okay. And last but not least, we got Brussels sprouts. I don't even know if this belongs in the Thanksgiving dinner, but I looked up traditional Thanksgiving dinner and it was in there. So they are vomit worthy. Like any linebacker from Cincinnati or Cleveland, take your pick. They're all terrible. And I want no part of any of them.
I have served John Brussels sprouts for dinner multiple times. Never has taken a single bite. Make the best Brussels sprouts around. Like, Brussels sprouts so good. Johnny does not want any part of it.
Nope. Nor do I want any part of Sion Taki or Mac Wilson or BJ Goodson or Malcolm Smith. I don't want any part of that shit. I'm good. Sean
an analogy.
Sean went with never been on my Thanksgiving menu and never will, like Juju Smith-Schuster. Ooh.
That's amazing.
That's pretty good. Pretty good.
I do not agree. So Brussels sprouts, given the proper care, they could be great. Quartered, little salt and pepper, good olive oil, roasted for 45 minutes. Toss it with some prepared bacon. All right.
Okay.
DeAndre Swift. All right. If we prepare him the right way, he's going to be a winner. You know, he's going to be a stud. And Brussels sprouts, done the right way, is a stud side dish. As I mentioned before, I traded DeAndre Swift and OBJ, who, thank God he's gone. He was a pain in the ass to own, for Delvin Cook, who is a beast. That was hard for me to hit accept. It really was, because Cook's got the mileage. Swift's just getting going. It's the Lions organization that made that easy for me. I'm sorry, that was it. You know, like I don't think they know how to prepare Brussels sprouts. You know what I'm saying? So that's my issue. You know, Spaceman, you know, he's putting his money in his mouth. He wrote like a long thread about Swift, and then I hit him up, and he put his money in his mouth. He said he could be a top 5 back next year, and I said, in Detroit,
yeah.
You know, so
they won't know how to. Yeah, no, not at all. So, okay, you brought up very good points of how to prepare Brussels sprouts really well. I want to just give you a little info to take it to the next level. Look up bacon jam and add that to Brussels.
I know what bacon jam is, and that's a phenomenal idea. All right.
I used to work at a restaurant, and I would make it just eating it alone. So it's basically bacon that's cooked so far down that it's like becoming crystallized, and you add in brown sugar and a little bit of coffee, and it just creates this like molten, like delicious glob that you then add in with the Brussels, and it's like, it's so good. It's so good. So with my Brussels, and I agree, it is a Thanksgiving dish, but it's not traditional. It's the Thanksgiving that you have like with your friends, or Thanksgiving when your parents are divorced. You know, one of those, like it's the second one. Usually it's the trying to like be gourmet. You know, it's the dad that never sees his kids, so he's trying to up from the regular Thanksgiving.
This is getting dark. Jesus Christ.
Oh, dude, I'm in it. Keep going.
But that's what I'm saying. Like it's that like Thanksgiving that just it's extra, and trying to be extra. So for me, Brussels sprouts, it has to be done right each time, or it's garbage. And that's Harold Landry.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That explains our trade a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. All right.
Did we have a trade?
You traded me Landry.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he can be good.
Yeah.
Can be good.
Can be good.
Here's the thing with those guys. Why score points every other week or every third week when you could score points every week from someone like freaking Tyrell Adams that cost you a mouse click? You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's just an easy decision.
Yeah. I like his ceiling, and he was my fourth DN, my fourth D lineman.
Oh, sleep. You could put him in. That makes sense. That makes sense.
And that was when I was in first place. Adam, whatever his number is behind me, is really pissing me off because my team's so good and he's better than me. That's really bothering me.
That's what that's Adam IDP. That's my boy. We do the DFS show.
Oh, is that who it is? I know exactly who that is.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
So That's what I love about Sleeper, though, is those
It's a
guys
smidge
belong.
better than me. It's driving me nuts.
Those guys belong on the defensive line. Like,
Yeah.
that's what they do. They pass rush. Like,
Yeah.
you shouldn't have to put them in your linebacker slot. That's just stupid. That's a waste of. You can't use that. I mean, you can, but it's just not smart. Like,
Yeah.
But,
I
all right,
like that
nice.
one though, man. That was phenomenal. Yeah, it got dark,
yeah.
and I was enjoying it a lot. It's good stuff.
See, I love these segments. Each what we do these every 6 months, just about. It's fun just getting into the food.
Yeah,
And like I have a background in restaurant work, so and I just love to eat. So there's all of that coming into play.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that was it. That was our Thanksgiving comps. Alrighty, so let's get into the week in review. But before we do our over, met, and under, Johnny, hit us with the most important waivers.
alrighty. Not too many this week. Be a couple repeats, but it's worth going through. So Javon Hargrave, especially if Fletcher Cox is dinged up, saw more snaps than last week. Had a really good game. I've talked about him before. Derek Wolf, while Calais old in what'd you call him? Old in something?
Oh,
Used up.
gross.
Old and gross Campbell is out. Yeah, he sees like a 20% bump in snaps when Campbell's out. AJ Klein while Milano's out. Xavier McKinney coming back this week. Sam Hubbard always and forever. Will Compton while Jayon Brown's out, although check that with like local Tennessee media before you pull the trigger on Sunday. Justin Burris in your corner slot is great. Same thing with DJ Reed. Isaiah Simmons, but check on that also on Sunday. Campbell is healthy. I don't know how that's going to go, but it is an option. Harvey Lange, if no Cashman. If there is Cashman, it's Cashman and Hewitt. It's not Onwuasor. DJ Reed, we've talked about. Alex Singleton's the guy in Philly. And we've got some offense, so we'll just kind of blast through these together. Gus Edwards because of Corona. Yes. James White. Yes. Right?
Yeah. For Edwards, he shouldn't be on your wire anyways, in my opinion.
Well, it depends where it is. You know, in our dynasty leagues, he's not there. But
Thank you. I'm always dynasty in my mind. So okay.
Yep. No, we gotta. So that's the trick here is we gotta have info for everyone.
That's fair. That's fair.
Jordan Reed, sure. I'm not super into it. I mean,
no, I'd pass.
But you know, tight end's tough this year, so I dig it. Robert Tonyan, yeah, I'm into that.
Of course.
Yep. Damian Bird, you talked about this earlier. You think so? Is this a thing? Is what's his face out of the picture now? The fuck?
Harry?
No, not Harry. The other one, the one that threw a touchdown last week.
Oh, Jacoby Myers.
Yeah.
It's ambiguous, dude. I mean, it's like when you look, it's kind of funny. Like the Patriots wide receiver core is like how you should target value pre-draft with like running backs. Like ambiguous means like value. You know what I mean? So like Bird just exploded. Bird's not going to cost a lot. There's nobody that like Bird overtook. You know what I mean? So if you have somebody who's cuttable and you can make room, Bird's not a bad guy to pick up. He went off and he looked good, you know? So, yeah, it's ambiguous. He had a big week. There's plenty of opportunity. There's not a lot of competition. Invest.
Beautiful. Rashad Perryman, I actually don't have a problem with this, but I like it better when Flacco's in.
Truth.
I don't know. Him and Darnold just never really.
No,
they didn't have many opportunities, but him and Flacco are getting a bomb a game, and I'm cool with that.
Yep.
Here's a good one for you. Sony Michel's back healthy again. What do you think?
No.
Not into it?
No.
All righty. Lev Bell is a trending transaction this week. I'm not really into that. What about you?
No. Stop chasing a touchdown.
Denzel Mims. maybe deeper leagues PPR. Sure, why not?
I like it. Target share is not bad, and why not?
Yeah, they do have the worst passing attack in the league, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's something. Ryan Finley is not the quarterback apparently. What's the guy's name? Brandon
Allen.
Allen. There you go. So sure, in Superflex, deep enough league, knock yourself out.
Yeah.
PJ Walker, if no Teddy, yeah, I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of nice to see that that story coming from the XFL. What isn't funny is he had to do it against the Lions.
It's pretty funny. I laughed. I'm sorry.
Like, come on, just that's an XFL quarterback. You can't stop an XFL quarterback.
Yeah,
Hey,
You can't put up points against a team with an XFL quarterback.
Tommy Maddox came out of the XFL and won a Super Bowl, bro.
Yeah, no, and I mean that's great.
Am I
But I'm
right?
sure
he was
right.
he didn't win the actual game, but yes, he was in the playoffs when they didn't Big Ben get banged up for a game or two. Maddox came in, and then Ben won the actual Super Bowl.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah.
I swear he played it.
No.
Okay. I'm looking it up.
No, I know. I'm just telling you. I remember him. I like.
Come on, Lions. Like,
Yeah, I was wrong.
come on. Jesus Christ.
And last but not least, I mean, it won't be a this week thing, but Jalen Hurts. The time is near.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's a good target in a trade if you don't have a trade deadline in Dynasty right now. And sometimes people don't think that far ahead. You know what I mean? He might still be. If you want to try to get him, you gotta try to get him now. Once he gets the job, it's
over.
It's over. You know.
Yep. I think that's their best chance to actually get into the playoffs. Is him. Yeah. All right, so that's what we got for trending transactions and waivers. On to the week in review. We'll start with overproduced. My guys that overproduced this week: John Penis, Eni, Lions, Denzel Ward, Browns, Christian Kirksey, Packers, DJ Reed, Seahawks. Who you got, Todd?
I actually did not prepare anything for this segment. I apologize, gentlemen.
It's all right. So if you're taking Sean's spot and doing the offense, so who's someone that blew up last week that normally doesn't or went way over there?
Come back to me.
Damian Bird.
Yeah.
There you
go. Come back.
Well, here I'll go. Going with Eric Rowe. Phenomenal game. Not typical for his caliber of player.
This is true. All right. Yeah. We'll do yours at the end. Met expectations. I've got Justin Simmons. Met expectations. Deion Jones and Harrison Smith. 3 studs did their jobs, so that was good. Nate, what about you?
Jamie Collins.
Yeah,
he did Jamie Collins things.
Yeah, he did have a good game. And underproduced, I'm going to go with TJ Watt, Aaron Donald, and Marcus Peters, and all 3 of those guys will obviously bounce back probably pretty quickly.
Mine would be Frank Clark. With this week.
Right.
Mm-hmm. All right. So for overproduced, we can definitely go with Melvin Gordon came back from the dead this week.
Yeah,
that was a good one. Definitely showed some life. Obviously, wide receiver was dumb. I should have just said Bird's name, but we've talked about him to death at this point. He probably got more burn on this one episode than he will in every other episode combined. So for tight end, let's see here. Jordan Akins, the freaking Texans tight end situation is like just flavor of the week. But he blew up. Schultz came back a little bit. Eric Ebron played well.
Yep.
But Eric Ebron's been actually pretty steady. He's actually a sneaky, good starter. And Nelson Aguilar, who is somebody I will never trust ever. So that was another guy who definitely overproduced.
Yeah, he had a huge game.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And how about some guys that met expectations offense last week? Yeah, there were plenty.
Yeah.
Uh,
Chase
Well,
Edmonds has been steady as hell, man.
yes, yeah. Even with Drake back, he still had a good game, so that was nice to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about underproduced? Anyone shit the bed?
Yeah, tons of guys shit the bed. Let's see.
Always.
Todd Gurley definitely shit the bed.
Yep. Oh, another good one is Hines, who everybody was all
Yeah,
about because of
right.
Taylor, and then people remember why he's a scat back. So yeah, he shot the bed for sure.
A scatback shitting the bed. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Did he scat the bed?
Juju and Julio sucked. And those are two guys I'm big on. And T. Higgins had a terrible game too.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
there it is. There is our week in review.
Dynasty Football Digest, your new essential site for Dynasty information. For as little as $1 a month, gain access to all that we have to offer. Rankings, trends, ADP, in-season assets, and a Slack chat just for subscribers. Purchase today at dynastyfootballdigest.com.
Alrighty, now it's time for Steak and Salad, where we get to go into how our week was personally. Talk about the good things,
Yeah.
some of the bad things, get a little look behind the veil of who we are as people. Why don't we kick it off with you, Banterman, as the guest? What was your steak this week?
Dude, my steak this week was the Night of Lights at Gillette Stadium. So
Ooh.
it's pretty much you pay $35 and you drive through this elaborate Christmas lights display. So raising a 2-year-old in the pandemic is like not phenomenal because you can like only do so much with him because like he refuses to wear his mask. So Gillette just set up one of their giant parking lots and he like there's like tunnels of lights and he's just like looking all over the place and like talking to us about it the whole time. It was freaking awesome. It's hard to find family outings, man, in this time. So when you be able to find one that you can keep safe, it's special for sure.
That's pretty cool. Johnny, do they have that kind of stuff out here? Because I was raised on.
They do. They do. Goodwin Golf Course, Hartford.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yep.
And
There
then
in Meriden.
And in Weathersfield, there's that house where they got the radio frequency you can tune into, and it's all the lights move to like Christmas music. It's pretty cool. Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, there was a golf course by where I grew up that like every year my grandparents would take me through. Like we just drive through this thing, and it was just ornament lighting things like Rudolph whose nose blinked and like Santa who like moved the sleigh bells.
Yeah.
It was always so much fun.
No, for sure, dude.
I bet that was amazing going through it at Foxborough.
Dude, it was done by HBO Max, so it was legit. There's a pretty legit video of me doing a live commentary of Santa flipping over 3 candy canes. So it was a good time. My son thought it was hilarious, so I'll take it.
Nice,
cool. What about you, Johnny? What's your take?
Yeah, no, it was a good week. I had the annual review at work and got a raise, so that was nice.
Nice.
Yeah. And I talked about this earlier. Yeah, I lost some weight and moved over to my lungs are better, so that's good. Just making some personal decisions to maybe try and live a little longer than 40.
Nice.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you gotta live longer than 40. We need to be able to keep the show going for another 5 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my steak. My steak is my mom is flying in on Saturday. It's
Nice.
her birthday next week. We've got Thanksgiving going on. I've probably been cohabitating between Connecticut and Michigan most of this year. Don't yell at me. I know it's COVID, but like we've been doing some traveling back and forth. And I guess one more trip, throw it on top of the I mean, since last Thanksgiving, between all the family members, there had to have been like 10 different trips going back and forth. It's been a little bit ridiculous. So we're capping it off with birthday week trip for my mom, taking advantage of those very cheap flights. Like very cheap. I think we paid $250, and that flight is usually close to $1,200.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it is, but so I'm looking forward to seeing her and spending some family time, and she's gonna be here when we put up our Christmas tree.
Nice.
Nice.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So let's go with the not so great, the salad. Todd, what about you?
So I'm a teacher. So this school year, in a nutshell, students, teachers, parents, admins, custodians, cafeteria workers, nurses. It's all draining, man. It's just a draining year. We're all going to appreciate so much more what it was when this is all over. Now, to throw a little steak on my salad, I'm a special education teacher, and my students are getting these like unbelievable opportunities and learning how to self-advocate, organize, and problem solve that I could not produce otherwise outside of a pandemic. So you get like that teachable moment, and you just get them to buy in, and it's a skill that you need when you're older as an adult that I try to manufacture otherwise, but I don't have to do that this year. So I just kind of just work with what's given to me. So it's a salad, but for what I do,
It's a
steak
grilled
on top of
salad.
them. Yeah, probably more like grilled chicken. Probably not quite steak. You know what I mean? Like some decently grilled chicken. But yeah,
That is awesome, man. Yeah, we should talk shop sometime. I used to work in that field at group homes until I got
no
tired.
kidding.
Yeah, until I got tired of getting almost murdered. And now I just volunteer with autistic kids. But that's near and dear to everyone here. That's why we do the IDP Invitational the way we do it. So
Nice, dude. I did a similar job as you did as well at 1.2.
good shit. So yeah, the salad I'm gonna toss this week is Jimmy G's. Would be that Dallas one, and is screwing up their draft position. Just throw in the damn towel, Cowboys. Good Lord, what are you doing? Who gives a shit? So you go to the playoffs with what, like a 5-11 record or some shit? Like, why? Why? You're just gonna get annihilated in the first round, and it's not gonna fix anything. Just tank. Start tanking.
And get another wide receiver.
Yeah, we need a fourth one.
Right.
Oh my Lord. We could use some defense. That's what we could use. There's some strange shit going on in that defense.
You're picking Jalen Waddle when you know it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh.
Nate, what about you? What salad are you tossing this week?
All right, so my salad is has a little bit to do with my steak. My mom is flying in Saturday night, so there will be no Dungeons and Dragons this week for me.
I know. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. The timing just didn't work out. Everyone needed Saturday, and I couldn't do Saturday, so we have to skip this week. It's been getting good. My character is doing some cool things, and it's exciting to play. And Tyler Gee at Tyler Gee NFL, he is the dungeon master currently. So we brought him in. Oh man, what was that? 8 months ago now.
It must have been 60 hours ago.
Right.
Playtime.
Yeah. We've been playing for some time, and then he just kicked over to being the dungeon master, and he's got this really cool story going on, and it's really weird because D&D has become Johnny and Mai's escape from the football, which is supposed to be escape from real life. You know,
Right.
like football's supposed to be your like enjoy it and escape from like all the things going on.
I don't enjoy football until week 17. That's been that way since we started here, because it's all
playoffs.
No, I mean I love the work we do, but it's a gigantic fucking pain in the ass every year.
Yeah. To be honest, like I can't wait this year to be getting to our last show of the season. We've got a ton of great stuff coming in the off season. Like we're doing a bunch of like reworking the business, reworking the sites. I've been learning so much new stuff on web design that like we're coming back. It's gonna look so good.
Yeah, Todd's part of that too. We're doing like we're getting out of the crowded Dynasty Ocean and getting into the not crowded Devi Ocean / college fantasy ocean, where we're going to be a big shark, big shark.
We're investing in our magazines. We're investing in the IDP guys website itself. It's just there's a lot of cool things I'm looking forward to. And what's nice is we do this in the off season. So like in the football season, like Johnny, me, like Todd, I'm sure you're into that too. Like every week there's like things that just have to happen. Like there's things that you have to plan around, but then once the off season comes, it's like, holy crap, like I could just work on this at my own pace. Like I could take 2 weeks on this project doing it, you know? So it is something to look forward to, but it's always like the off season hits, you get a good month off, and then you're just like, man, you end up missing football in itself. It's a cycle. It's a vicious cycle. That's what it is. Oh, to be a content creator in football.
Yeah. My last article that I just submitted yesterday is 2 weeks in the making because of life. You know, and I wanted it out 2 weeks ago. You know, but I did the best I could in life. You know what I mean, man?
Oh yeah.
No, so like once we get to off season, you're 100% right. The first article I ever wrote for the Dynasty Football Digest was my Julio like buy, and it's not looking so great now. But at the same time, it's that one I bumped out in a week, but I was able to really hone in on that for that week and like really buy into it. But yeah, man, the off season's a different time to recharge and really find your love for the whole piece of it again, opposed to trying to keep up.
Right. In season's always just it's a grind. Especially if you do weekly content. And Johnny here, God, he writes 20,000 words a week between 3 articles. I don't know how he does it, but you know what's going to be interesting is next year. There's a little look behind what we got coming. You're going to be able to have access to that information as he writes it.
Yeah.
Nightly updates,
spelling errors and everything. It's going to be
nice.
Oh yeah. You get the spelling errors, you get it all. You get maybe like the information that does end up having to change closer to printing time, but you're getting access to that early. We're going to be resetting up Patreon, and that's some of the stuff coming down the pike. So it's a lot of stuff we're trying to do to just improve. Every year you got to improve. So
The IDP Guys is your #1 resource for IDP information for your fantasy leagues. For as little as $1 a month, get access to all that we have to offer. Rankings, ADP, trade calculator, in-season assets, and a Slack chat to get personal help all year round. Purchase today at idpguys.org.
Jonny The Greek.
Alrighty, so before I kick this over to Johnny, We were going to do the Thanksgiving night game that we had this set up with Statement Games because it was our Thanksgiving special. That game got postponed, and so we're skipping this week for new contests. We are going to give the jersey for the last contest, but after this week, starting next week, make sure you play the IDP Guys sponsored tournament, the Sunday night game. And if you win your contest, you get put in the hat to possibly get a jersey. So we pull the name of one of the contest winners, and Statement Games gives them a jersey. So Johnny, do you want to do last week's game?
Yeah. Okay. So we had a few winners from last week's game, and once again, this can be played at statementgames.com. You don't even have to make an account. You can sign in with your Google or Facebook. They're prop bet style contest. You rank them 1 to 10 and your confidence. It's great. It's easy. You can spin the wheel to get more coins every week, and there's no reason not to do it. Last week we had 5 winners. We had Brett05, Musinski, 1, 2, 3. I don't know. That guy, 1, 2, 3. NY Raj, NYNS Motormouth, and NorCal Hustler. So we've got these guys in a little helmet here.
Cowboys hat. It's probably not going to be very lucky. So
nope. And we'll pull a name out. Yeah. NY Raj. You can't see that. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is.
NY Raj.
Hey,
Yeah.
NY Raj.
Congrats, NY Raj.
Nice.
Yeah. So you get a jersey of your size, team player choice. So congratulations, sir. Contact Statement Games on Twitter or through their email and let them know you won.
Yeah. And we'll be skipping the new game for this week, and we'll have one next week. So Johnny, go into the rest of your betting segment.
All right, on to the shitty betting advice. We are 9-5 on the season, so not too terrible. Last week, I had Vikings money line over Dallas, and that felt like a lock. It wasn't, which is really weird, but shit happens. So this week, this felt great immediately, but I'm kind of worried about it now. I'm going Texans -3 at Detroit tomorrow. I don't know. This feels like one of those games where it's Thanksgiving, the eyes of the nation are on them. They got shithoused by the Panthers last week. Maybe, even without Patricia being involved, the players come out and say, no, not on our watch. We're not going to be embarrassed in front of the nation. But I don't know. I still feel like the Texans win, and they could probably cover that. So I wrote it. I'm going with it. Texans -3 at Detroit. What do you guys think of that?
I like it.
No, I like it. Yeah, that's strong.
But this is what I'm going to say. It's the Lions. I'm a Lions fan, and what I want isn't going to happen. And it'll be the Lions by like 2 scores.
Could be.
That's what it's going to end up being, because everything says it's not. Everything says Patricia should be fired. Everything says burn it all down. But they're going to come out and they're going to look fucking fantastic, I bet you.
Mm-hmm.
For this one game. This only this one game.
Yep.
They are.
All right. Nate, I got a question for you, man. If Patricia got fired, who would you want?
That's the problem. I don't know. But I don't think that, Patricia was supposed to come in and take a 9-7 team over the hump into consistent playoffs.
Right.
He took a 9-7 team, and I believe he has less wins over the course of his 3 years than 9-7.
Mm.
Or it might be 13 and 4 dozen. I can't exactly. I don't know those stats off the top of my head.
That's
but
fair.
He's had 1 winning season, I think.
Yeah.
In 3 years. I don't want him. Anybody.
Yeah.
I'll take anybody. I wish we would have went with the Tennessee coach there.
Vrabel?
Yeah.
Vrabel.
Well, everyone wants Vrabel. Yeah. He's great.
Yeah. But 2020 is, hindsight's 2020.
Right.
So I don't know. I would probably say it's not just get rid of Patricia, it's get rid of Dan Quinn too.
Yeah, that's fair.
Bob Quinn. Sorry, Bob Quinn. Dan Quinn was.
I knew who you meant. Yeah.
Get rid of Bob Quinn. Get rid of Matt Patricia. Burn it all down, and let's see who they can find. That's a solid GM. Let's go back to just like normal football management, not this like Patriots way or trying to figure out like some cutesy thing like where the GM is trying to make a specialized team just for a head coach. Like, give me something where there's some versatility between like, okay, this year we're going to be really pass heavy. This year we're going to be really run heavy. And we got a good defense. Like, I don't care. Just every time we go into a draft, it's like you cut out 30 to 45% of players because they just don't fit the scheme.
Do you know what I actually feel would be a good fit if you guys still had Stafford too? Would be Joe Brady. Just give him a shot. You know, OC over at Carolina did special things at LSU.
Okay. Yeah.
Good little experimental piece, and it's different.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Patricia's like offense just needs stagnant, but yeah, man, I'm with you. I like Johnny's bet a lot, man. It's tough to figure out. Patricia needs to get fired. That wasn't my argument. It was just more like if you could pick his replacement, who would it be? You know?
Yeah, and that's the problem. Is like I don't know that far. Like,
yeah,
I don't know who's going to be available. I don't really like. That's an off-season topic for me. Like, I'll be trolling the Reddit, the Twitters. You know, making sure like seeing what other people say and then checking them out for myself. At this point, I'm just like gut reaction. Fire them all.
I am available for hire, and I will feature DeAndre Swift. I
bet you would be a better coach, too.
I
Maybe
would
not as good of a rocket scientist, but I mean, neither of you guys are practicing rocket science. So
right. I only went to UMass. I did not go to a private school. What can I say? I went state, baby. So RPI, love it.
All right. So with that, we're wrapping up.
Let's give Todd a second to plug his shit. We gotta do this.
Yeah. There we go.
We gotta plug some shit here.
But plug that shit.
Absolutely. Thank you, gentlemen. So I am at FF_Bantamman. I co-host a podcast called A Tale of Two Rivals. It's a good time. I'm on that with FF_Spaceman, who just hit 3,000 followers and is carrying the popularity of our show, no doubt. And if you go look for our other co-host at FF_Walrus, you will not find him because he's lazy as shit. And he knows that, though. So I also write for the Dynasty Football Digest, and it's been a phenomenal family to become a part of. I am a big Devy guy. So I am trying. I did my third segment of Next Man Up, wide receivers. The whole idea of the segment is studs will leave. That means targets are available. So I did a Next Man Up for QBs. I've done a Next Man Up for running backs, and I just submitted the wide receivers. So that should be up and out in a few days. So I'm going to target tight ends next, and I do not believe in investing in tight ends that deeply, but I'll do it anyways. So yeah, so Devy for life, all about it. Johnny, I'm kicking butt in that startup draft.
Nice.
Okay, before we do this, how many of you are adding leagues in the offseason?
I doubled my amount. Like, I was at 6, and then I met you guys, and apparently I'm like not that many. And I'm at 13. I was at 12, and Eric approached us with that Devy concept, which is essentially for 3 years you draft college players, and then we start a pro season on the 4th, and you only use players drafted from the Devy rosters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It just totally just hit that fantasy football nerd in you, and you're like, how do you say no to something that original? You know what I mean? And like it's like that World War III league that when you proposed it to me, like that was the last week I joined, and I was like, I don't want to say yes again. I'm like, I'm saying yes. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, it has to be different. Like I'm not doing more of the same. If somebody can hit me with something like original, like I'm not in a salary cap league, I could do that. So,
Well, see, that's what I'm planning on adding next year. Is I have the itch for salary cap. Johnny and I were in a league a few years back that disbanded. That was just pure salary cap, and I tried to replicate that, but at a shorter period of time with the World War leagues, and I don't think it hit the mark. It's interesting, it's different, but it's not scratching that itch. So I'm thinking of some salary cap next year. But like I have like 25 leagues, and it's like it is tough. So yeah, I'm just curious. Like, I mean, it's the COVID-19 leagues. Like you added 19 leagues over this quarantine. So what are we doing next year? We retracting, or are we just diving in and adding more? So.
If it's interesting, I'll add it. That's always kind of been my rule on that.
Yeah. Nice. All right. So with that, we're going to close up episode 131, our Thanksgiving Day special. Make sure you're following us on Twitter at Nate Cheat, at OrangeMan3142, at FF_Banterman, and of course at IDP Guys. Subscribe to the show. Go to idpguys.org. On the sidebar, there are links for iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and an RSS feed for the podcatcher of your choice. While you're there, become a subscriber, get access to premium data, the subscriber chat, tons of great tools. We've got more tools in progress of being developed. It is $1 a month, and it's worth it. Just getting into that subscriber chat, so much great conversation. Instantly get your questions answered, and I don't know, like we help people win championships, or we answer Joe G's question, one or the other. It's not the same. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Writer Digest Network, REITER. That's where you'll be able to watch this episode. You would have just saw John's cat's tail flip through his screen. And there she is. Kitty. But yeah, Writer Digest Network, tons of great YouTube content, tons of great shows, not only ours, but you've got IDP Nation, IDP Update, and Devi IDP Grind. Plus, we do some live streams. Good stuff. So with that, gentlemen and Kitty, thank you for joining us. FF Bannerman, thanks for coming on the show and filling Sean's shoes.
Always a blast, gents. Always a blast.
Good job, John Penisini, this week.
Sony Michelle sucks.